that he had dropped a phone, so I went over to see if there were any obvious markings to tell if anyone knew who the phone would belong to, and there wasn't anything. So on my way back to language arts, I asked anyone that I saw in the hall if they knew who the phone belonged to, and nobody knew. So I then decided that after school that I was going to turn it into the office.
Okay, and let me go back a little bit. Do you have physical education as a class?
No,
Chase?
not this one.
Okay, and there are new PE teachers from last year, right? Correct?
Yes, there's a different PE teacher for each grade.
And if you're not in the same classroom, if you're on the other side of the school from Amy and Sarah, and you don't even have physical education as a class, first of all, how would you know if Amy's phone was taken? And second, how would you know if the physical education teacher confiscated the phone, where he would put it?
I wouldn't know either of those questions.
Okay. And no further. Or can I have a second to talk to my fellow my
You can have time to confer with your co-counsel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chase.
Good afternoon.
So you went to school on April 4th, 2014, did you not?
Yes, I did.
And around 12:30, you went to the bathroom, Mr. Chase?
Yes.
And Officer Gonzalez questioned you a few hours later, right?
Yes.
And around the time Amy Pond's phone was stolen, you were not in class, right, Mr. Chase?
No, at around 12:30 I was going to the bathroom.
Okay. And Officer Gonzalez searched your backpack, correct?
Yes.
And he found something in your backpack, did he not?
Yes.
He found Amy's stolen stone in your backpack, correct?
Yes, but at that time I didn't know it was Amy Pond's phone.
Okay. And so I heard you say that your language arts classroom is about approximately 200 feet from the PE classroom, correct?
Yes, about.
And so you walked 200 feet to use the bathroom?
Yes, it was the closest bathroom.
The closest bathroom was 200 feet. Okay, establish that. You also said you didn't have PE.
No, not this year.
Have you ever had PE?
Yes, I did. Last year it was required.
So you've had PE, you've established it. So you would know the basic outline of where things are located in the gym, would you not?
Yes, I know the basic outline.
So you would know where the offices are located. You know where the bathrooms are located, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you also said that someone bumped into you on your way back to language arts, correct?
Yes, as I was exiting from the bathroom.
And they dropped Amy's phone, correct?
Well, as I said before, we smashed into each other and both of us fell down.
You both fell down. And when the person fell down, you didn't get a clear look at their face. I mean, you were both on the floor next to each other.
No, they had their hood pulled up and they fell away from me, so.
Oh, okay. All right. And so, on your way back, you asked people, do you know whose phone this is, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then Officer Gonzalez asked you about that, did he not?
Yes.
And you did not give Officer Gonzalez any names, correct, Mr. Chase?
No, I didn't know any of their names.
You also stated you didn't want to get anyone in trouble, correct?
Yes, I don't want to get anyone else falsely accused, such as myself.
Falsely accused. Okay, so you thought, doing the right thing, a 4.0 student, if they were trying to do the right thing, asking people about the phone, you think that would get them in trouble, Mr. Chase?
Well, I don't know. I just didn't want to get anybody else falsely accused, such as myself.
Falsely accused. All right. And so, have a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
So you said you were setting up the teacher appreciation meeting, right?
Actually, that morning I was helping set up.
Yeah, all right. So did you drink any fluids during that time?
Yes, I was very tired. I drank a lot of coffee.
How many cups can you estimate?
I would say about 5.
About 5 cups. You were thirsty.
Yes.
All right. So since you had 5 cups of coffee, you weren't jittery in class, you couldn't focus, you couldn't, let's say, get your story straight, Mr. Chase?
No, not that morning.
Not that morning. So that morning you weren't jittery at all, you could pay attention?
Yes, pretty much.
All right. And so, hold on, sorry, 1 second. All right, okay. And so that was about what time in the morning?
I would say about 7 o'clock.
About 7 o'clock. And so you used the bathroom at 12:30, did you not?
Around 12:30.
Around 12:30. So it took you a pretty decent time to digest.
Objection, it's not her job to tell my client when he can and cannot go to the bathroom.
I'm not telling you when you can or not go to the bathroom. I'm asking him why it took so long.
The objection is overruled, counsel.
So it took you a pretty fair amount of time to digest 5 cups of coffee, did it not?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a medical expert.
But it took a few hours, Mr. Chase?
Yes, I was also drinking throughout the day.
Yeah, stay hydrated, concentrate on your grades. So, Mr. Chase, you said you were in student council, you were in math council, all those great programs at John Kennedy, correct?
Yes.
So, since you're in all those programs, you must deal with a lot of people, don't you?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. So, you know that some people can be untrustworthy and lie, correct, Mr. Chase?
Yes, but none of the people I saw in the hall said yes.
Yes, but since that person that supposedly bumped into you dropped their phone, wouldn't you assume that that was their phone, Mr. Chase?
I did. I called after them, but they didn't.
You
turn
called
around.
after them? Okay, and the phone did not make any noise whatsoever when it hit the ground?
Well, I wasn't really paying attention to what noise phones make when I was falling.
You weren't. But you didn't catch that a phone falling, were you inside or outside?
I was inside.
Inside. A phone falling on the hard ground, which I'm assuming was the hallway, which is hard ground. It did not make any noise whatsoever.
I didn't hear any noise.
You didn't hear any noise. All right, I get it. So when you asked those people, you didn't think first, well, they could say it is their phone and take it. You didn't assume that. You just thought, oh, everyone's a nice, friendly person. We all get along. Kumbaya. Mr. Chase?
I'm sorry, where's the question?
You thought, you didn't assume that when you asked the people around that they could say, yes, that is my phone when they were lying. Did you not?
I did somewhat think about that.
You did somewhat? So you asked anyways?
Yes, if it's any chance to return the phone to the owner, might as well try it.
Yeah, do the right thing. All right, and then when you got back to your classroom, you didn't ask your language arts teacher to take the phone down to the office for you?
No, I had decided that after school I was going to return it to the office myself.
After school, but what if, let's say, you did ask your language arts teacher? Couldn't they give you a pass so you would go down to the office and then you could make up all your class time? And that way you wouldn't lose any class time, then you wouldn't have to have the phone on you, and maybe you would have been here right now. Mr. Chase.
I don't really understand the question.
All right, I'll repeat myself. So you didn't think that if I gave this phone to my language arts teacher, they could have given me a pass and I could have gone down to the office so I'd have been excused from class. Mr. Chase, you didn't assume that?
Well, I didn't want to miss any more class.
Objection, counsel's testifying.
Overruled.
All right. May I have another moment, Your Honor?
You may.
Your Honor, if it's okay, I'd like to see your act.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna come out and say this. Did you steal Amy Pong's phone?
No.
Did you ever have the intention of keeping the phone after you had it in your possession?
No, I wanted to return it to the owner as fast as possible.
Okay, and what time does school get out?
3:20.
3:20. What time were you when you were called to the front office to meet with Officer Gonzalez?
It was around 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30.
So 2 o'clock, 2:30. So you still had a whole nother hour to try to find who the phone belonged to. And not only that, if you never found it, you could have taken it to the office at the end of the day. And that's where I rest my case. Thank you.
Was there a question there, Council?
Yes. Yes, so you still had a whole another hour to try to find who the phone belonged to, correct?
Yes.
And then, not only that,
Objection, Your Honor, counsel is leaving.
Sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor.
and at the end, you could have returned the phone to the office at the end of the day, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you very much.
All right. You can go ahead and step down, Mr. Chair. Any further witnesses from the defendant?
No, Your Honor. The defense rests our case.
Any motions? State, any motions? Counsel for defendant, any motions?
Yes. Defense would like to renew the motion of directed verdict.
State, any argument?
Yes, Your
Rebuttal to the motion for directed verdict?
The state stands by its last argument and asks that you deny the motion for directed verdict. Thank you.
The motion is denied. All right. Time for closing arguments.
Yes, Your Honor.
State.
May I use evidence, Your Honor?
You may.
May it please the court. Your Honor, the state is asking you to find the defendant guilty of crime, of larceny. We would like to walk you through what you have heard today. For you to find the defendant guilty of larceny, the state must have proved to you beyond a reasonable doubt. On April 4th, 2014, second, in Bernalillo County, New Mexico. Third, the defendant took or carried away a cellular phone. 4, with intent to permanently deprive the owner. 5, the value of the phone was more than $250, but not more than $500. The APD officer clearly stated the date, the county, and the APD officer also clearly stated that he found the phone in the defendant's backpack. Common sense says it wouldn't have been in his backpack if he didn't have the intent to deprive the victim. The state said it was at least 100, using common sense. Defense did not answer the following, asking about the phone. An A+ student would not walk around the halls asking people whose phone it was. An A+ student would know that people are not trustworthy and that he cannot rely on his teammate, on his classmates. The A+ student it would occur to the A+ student to return it to the office or to his teacher when he got back from the bathroom. Also, when he fell, he said that he did not hear any sounds. I'm pretty sure if you dropped a cell phone, you would hear it. I'm pretty sure you would hear that. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
I heard it.
I heard it. Again, for everybody, I heard it. And also, I think that an A+ student wouldn't leave in the
middle of class to go to the bathroom. He would wait till he would go during passing period or after class. Also, how does he know that the bathroom is 200 feet away from his language arts classroom? Does he count steps to his bathroom? Like, and like, isn't 200 feet to a bathroom is pretty far. I don't think somebody would make the bathroom that far, but. So, Your Honor, that is why you should find the defendant guilty. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Counsel for defendant, closing.
May it please the court. Your Honor, we came here today to bring justice. It is justice convicting an innocent person of a crime he did not commit. The state has failed to prove that Rory is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. First, the state failed to show that Rory had intent to permanently deprive Amy of the phone. He was just leaving the bathroom while the real thief crashed into him, dropping the phone in the commotion. Rory then decides to do the right thing and find the phone's rightful owner. Second, the state failed to prove Rory took and carried away the phone. We have the account of only one blind witness who is also biased against Rory due to a previous breakup. And Sarah, her best friend, stated that she would straight up lie for her. Finally, the state failed to prove the value of the phone. The most evidence we have is a hearsay that Amy's mom told her that she bought a phone like it that was about $350. Concluding, why would Rory even need a phone that old or want one? He already has one exactly like it and a much newer version as well. Rory stated that if he wanted anything, his parents would get it for him. So he had absolutely no motive to steal at all. The law requires the state to prove all the elements of larceny beyond a reasonable doubt. Here, the state has failed to meet its burden. Justice allows only one outcome. You must find Rory Chase not guilty. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. We kind of have a jury here in the box. So what's the verdict? What's the verdict?
Just give us one. We
Matt Claw, PC in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'd like to say that you guys did a really, really good job of presenting the whole atmosphere and how the process of the court works. And I was really enthralled with how you guys stayed in character and how you made your objections and following other procedures of the court. Even though some were overruled or sustained, you guys still kept in mind the reasons why you made these objections. And I would say that if you guys have any kind of interest in law, to go for it, because I see it within each and every one of you that you have potential in this kind of field, and you guys have that character, that fire that would be very compatible with this kind of profession. So my hat's off to you guys, and great job.
Hi, I'm Carlos Pacheco. I'm the chief prosecutor out at Laguna Pueblo, and I used to work for your instructor this week, Carrie Vandenberg. Wonderful job, just amazing. I think one of the best skills that you can have as a trial lawyer is to be able to think on your feet, and it was clear you were all thinking on your feet. You know, you listen to the questions and you think about your answers, and someone would throw an objection and you were coming up with the responses. These are hard skills to learn, and you already have those, and it was wonderfully done. I was very impressed with introducing evidence, getting evidence moved in. That's a hard thing. A lot of law students struggle learning that skill. But yeah, just the thinking on your feet and the ability to analyze the information. Kids did a great job, and I'm pretty sure I don't ever want to be cross-examined by and I'd be scared to be your parents now. It's going to be a little bit tougher now. But good job, everybody.
Hi guys, I'm Elizabeth Reitzel, and I'm a second-year law student at UNM. I have to say I've never participated in mock trial before, and I've never even watched one. I was really impressed by you guys, though. Your preparation shows. I have to say you guys all look so confident up there, and that's something that not everyone has when they get in front of a lot of people. So good work on your preparation, and I hope you guys keep going forward with school and you guys are able to achieve whatever you're looking forward to.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gallegos. I'm actually a public defender up in Santa Fe. I'm so impressed with you guys. I think you did far better in this trial than I do, than any of us. And I'm big props to the parents out there. You guys must be so proud of your kids. They are awesome. I'm just so impressed. You guys, you know, the objections that you made, I wouldn't even think of half of those. So.
Hi, I'm Julia Salatio. I'm a student at Rio Grande High School, and you guys did great today. I did a mock trial this past year, and you guys did better than some of the kids I worked with. I thought it was really great how you guys looked at the details and really stuck with the details, because that's something that you have to really look at, and especially at somebody's testimony. And I mean, it's great that you guys are getting involved at such a young age and getting used to it. And I don't know, just keep on doing good in school, keep on getting those good grades, and you'll be a pretty good attorney, all of you guys.
Hey guys, my name is Monica Garcia. I'm a private criminal defense attorney. I just opened my own practice 2 years ago, and I've seen the prosecution side too at the U.S. Attorney's Office. But I thought, looking at both presentations, I echo what everybody said so far, that it was fabulous. It was, even you presented the case well. I was also impressed with the way you addressed the court and the professionalism you showed, and the way you conferred and worked together as a team on each side. I think that if any of you want to pursue a career in law, I know that each and every one of you can do it. If you just stay focused and just follow it. If it's your dream, don't let anything stand in your way, and go all the way. And you have this opportunity in law camp is great, because you're meeting new people, and you're always going to have these relationships. If you need to call Denise, or if you need to call Ms. Brandenburg, I mean, just, hey, I went through law camp, I have a question. I know that she's actually saw a presentation and reached out to one of the attorneys, and now she's working in his office, learning about how that works. So if any of you ever want to pursue a career in law, or any career, go to college and follow your dreams. Good job, both sides.
President of the New Mexico Hispanic Bar Association, and we helped put on this camp with a lot of sponsors, but also with the University of New Mexico. And those mentors that helped with this program, once you stand up, you're going to see them at the closing ceremony as well, but there's and I also wanted her to stand up, because she instructed the students all week long. The district attorney for Bernalillo County, and we're just so grateful that she took the time out of her schedule to do it. I also want to make sure Brian Colon gets a chance to talk, and then to thank Judge Brickhouse in a second. But Brian Colon, this camp wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Brian. He is one of the founders. I don't know if you call yourself that, but he is, and really make sure that this program continues to provide such a great service for these students. So, Brian, please stand up.
Thank you. Really, this program really couldn't happen without the leadership of the University of New Mexico and the NMHBA continuing to support it each and every year. But at the end of the day, it also takes people, not just organizations. And there are a lot of people in this room that just invested a lot of time, energy, and talent into each of your students who really embraced that investment and did a wonderful job today. I mean, I am so proud of these 12 students who did a phenomenal job in front of an amazing judge. It's really wonderful to have such distinguished jurists on our bench here in Bernalillo County. And then today, I must say, after having done this law camp for 12 years, after Fred Perez came to me from the University of New Mexico and said, Brian, I have this idea, will you help me? And my wife and I were the very first instructors of law camp, and we've carried it on now for 12 years with NMHDA and the University of New Mexico. It's hard to believe that we now had such incredibly distinguished instructors serve in this year's law camp, both with leadership from the Public Defender's Office and now today with not just an assistant district attorney, but our district attorney for the entire county of Bernalillo. So I really want to say thank you for elevating the capacity and the distinction of this program. You've really taken it to the next level. Thank you. I just want to close real quickly with something that is really special. And you're going to get a piece of mail from me here in the next few weeks. But there's a young man out here whose student is sitting in here. But when I first asked him about 10 years ago to invest in the law camp, the young man that's sitting on this side of the bar was just this big. And who knew that 10 years later, he'd be doing a phenomenal job as one of the attorneys in this law camp. So it was without people like his father investing in this program 10 years ago and saying, yes, I'll write you a check, along, just please quit asking, I can't afford it anymore. It's like my other friend who said, I can't afford to open your emails. Every time I do, it costs me $100. Because I'm always raising money for something. But I want to say thank you to him for stepping up early, and then the University of New Mexico and the NMHA for investing every single year for the last dozen years in making this program possible. Now, the good news is this. In a week or two, you'll get a letter from us also saying, we were honored to provide this camp at no charge to you and your students. But if you have it in your heart, and you feel like this program made a difference in your family's life and in your students' life, we'd ask you to send a little bit of help back, because we want to keep this program going. The Mexico Hispanic Bar has a vision of actually building enough capacity that we have enough funds to sustain this program on a better than a year-to-year basis. Right now, every year we put our hand up and ask people to give us $15,000 to $20,000 every year, and every year we're asking. And it's kind of like my checkbook; it's month to month, baby. And in New Mexico, and I always figure if it's not month to month, it means I'm not giving enough money away. But the truth is the New Mexico Hispanic Bar has made a real commitment to say, look, we need to have enough funds and resources so that we know that we have at least a year of capacity and reserve. So if something were to happen, we can still sustain this program. So when you get that letter, I hope you'll remember what a phenomenal job these students did today, what a tradition of investment from the Hispanic Bar and from the University of New Mexico has been made, and all the judges and attorneys who believe that your students are the future of our language. Thank you for participating, and congratulations.
Us, our kids, thank you for the program. The mentors were great. They worked with the kids when we could. Their personalities don't come through as much when you see them. They're so polished, and but it's so exciting to see them develop over the course of a week. We spent 11 hours with young kids, and this is the product. I remember Josh, we were teaching them objections. We have more female prosecutors. They tend to be a little more aggressive, and they were objecting. And Josh comes up and goes, "Is there any limit to this?" I said, "Don't get married."
She's hilarious.
Kids learn and get along and work with each other and think on their feet. It's completely incredible. Thank you for sharing them. And you know, if our future's in their hands, I'm going to sleep well. Thank you all.
Judge Brickhouse, who took time out of her schedule today to hear this and ran the trial so well for us. So thank you so much.
So I have one word: impressive. Very, very nice. I really was very, very impressed. And I had to remind myself a couple of times during your presentation that you're middle school students. I think that the second-year law student talked about how, she hadn't actually participated in a mock trial program, and then someone who has participated in a mock trial program thought that you all exceeded the skills of individuals she knew through a mock trial program. And I can tell you, as a judge who sees lawyers in front of me every day, law students from UNM Law School who